Hey guys, Tyler here with API Nation, here to show you how to set up our ShopBoss and QuickBooks Desktop integration to get all of those part sales and all of those payments syncing from ShopBoss to your QuickBooks Desktop instance. So the first thing we'll want to do is click on that Connect QuickBooks Desktop button, which will take us to a set of instructions about how to connect QuickBooks Desktop to API Nation. And you'll see at the very top here, one of the prerequisites for setting up this sync is having that QuickBooks Web Connector installed on your system. And how do you know if you've got the Web Connector? It's real easy to find out. You'll just want to open up that QuickBooks company file that you're looking to use, click on the File menu at the top of the screen, and choose Update Web Services right toward the bottom there. When you click on this, you should see a pop-up open up, or I just saw this in a system tray here, because mine was already open. And if you see this pop up on your screen in QuickBooks, then we're good to go, we're in business. If it looks like you're missing the Web Connector, please contact your QuickBooks administrator or feel free to reach out to our team at support@apination.com. We are always happy to help you out, and I'm sure we could get that all resolved for you. But if you've got this pop up here, then we're in business and we can go back to our instruction sheet here and start from the top. We actually just did numbers 1 and 2 already. So we went and we opened up the company file that we wanted to access, and we checked on that Web Connector. It's open now and in that box. The third step for us is to download this apination.qwc file. So you'll want to go ahead and click on that link and it will open up a download window. And you'll see in the downloads tray, we've got this new apination.qwc file in our downloads. And we're going to want to save that to the same place where the QuickBooks company file is located. Now, I'm going to go ahead and save mine in the default spot. And so if you haven't ever changed this location, you will know that you will notice that it's in the exact same place. That's on your local disk, that C drive under Users, Public Documents, Intuit, QuickBooks, and Company Files. And if I went a little fast there, you can see the full path up here at the top. That's under Users, Public Documents, Intuit, QuickBooks, Company Files. And this is exactly where I'm going to want to save that file that I just downloaded here. So if I go ahead and I find a little space, scroll to the bottom here, and then I drag and drop this download right into that folder, you'll see now we've got this apination.qwc file saved right next to our company file. And what that does for us is it keeps everything nice and organized. You've got this in a safe space right next to the company file. If you ever need to access it again, you'll know exactly where it is. And we will just do that in just 1 second. So back to the instructions here. We see we're moving on to number 4. In the QuickBooks Web Connector, we want to go ahead and add the application that we just downloaded. So we open up QuickBooks again and we look at this Web Connector right here. And you'll see in the lower right-hand corner, there's a button that says Add an Application. You're going to want to click on that, and you're going to want to navigate to that exact same folder where we just saved the file. So we'll go back through Users, Public Documents, Intuit, QuickBooks, and Company Files. And I'll see if I scroll down to the bottom of this directory here, we see right here that apination.qwc file that we just saved to this folder. We want to go ahead and open that. Now I'm going to get this pop up because I'm replacing an existing application already. So I'm going to go ahead and say no here, but you shouldn't even see this pop up. What you will see is this first, and this is part of the instructions. So let me just back out to that page again real quick before we address that. You'll see in step 5, the authorized new web service screen will be displayed, and we want to click OK. So I will be on this QuickBooks page, and I want to click OK for this. This is giving API Nation permission to access the QuickBooks Web Connector. And then this second page pops up, and I'll go back to the instructions. This is your instruction number 6. You'll see an authorized access screen that gives API Nation the ability to access the company file that you have open in QuickBooks right here. And when we're looking at this page, we want to select the option for allowing access even if QuickBooks is not running. And what that does for us is it allows the sync to continue to run, to continue to process those invoices and those payments coming from ShopBoss, even when somebody's not sitting in front of the computer and has QuickBooks open. It gives our app the ability to open QuickBooks, run the sync, and shut it down again. And you'll see that we also have the ability, we also have the option in the multi-user option. We want to select the user that we're acting on the behalf of. So that's probably the user that we use to log into QuickBooks. But again, if you have any confusion, you can talk to the system admin that works with your QuickBooks, and I'm sure they can give you the right answer here. So you'll want to click yes, and then you'll want to click continue. And this is just a quick summary right here of what we've done. We've given the application API Nation QuickBooks Desktop Integrator the ability to access the QuickBooks company file at any time, even if QuickBooks is not running. And so I'll click done there, and we're all set up. And so now what we've got here, we'll go back to our list and we'll go down to point number 7, which is we need to provide the password for this Web Connector application to run. So you'll see the password right here. It's just a series of letters and numbers that's going to be different from the one that you see on my screen. Every password is unique to each instance of the API Nation integration that's running. And so you'll want to copy that full password where it is right there, and you'll want to paste that into the QuickBooks Web Connector. And we see that little notification in the lower right-hand corner that our new application has been added. So let's go take a look. And you can see at the bottom of our list, we've got this new application, and it's got this box for a password, but it's empty. So we want to go ahead and paste in that password that we just copied off the other page. And side note on this, everybody, you will be able to find that password in your API Nation settings in the future. If you ever find that you're missing it or you need the password again, it's saved nice and secure in your API Nation account. Now, step number 8, we want to check the box to the left of the API Nation application, and we want to click the Update Selected button. And what this will allow the sync to do is to do all of its initial setup that the application requires in order to work. So it looks like that password was cleared out. So I will enter it one more time and save that password. And now that it's checked in this box on the left-hand side, I want to go up and choose Update Selected at the top. Now, since this application is running for the first time, it's doing a lot of initial setup. It's communicating with our service at API Nation, letting us know, hey, we're all set up, we're good to go. And we'll be able to see a test of that in just a second. So that application wrapped up nicely. And there's also here, you'll see in the subtext, we can also set up this auto run button that will allow the QuickBooks Web Connector to run, let's say, every 10 minutes, every 15 minutes to make sure that we're always getting the most up-to-date invoices and payments from ShopBoss into API Nation. So let's go do that right now. You'll want to go ahead and click on this auto run button right there. And we can say, hey, let's run once an hour. Every 60 minutes sounds great for us. So let's go ahead and leave that at the default. And that will go ahead and run itself once an hour to pick up all of your updated invoices from ShopBoss. So finally, we've got this last step down here where you'll be able to verify that everything we did worked out really well. So when I click Test Connection, I'm going to see a success message right here. You see that our business has been connected, and we want to click on that Next button right there. That allows us to carry on with the setup of the sync and make sure everything is looking is perfect for us. Now, there are a few more settings on this final step for the integration page. You see we've got our ShopBoss account and our QuickBooks account all set up. We want to decide what is our income account for these invoices that are coming from the repair orders in ShopBoss. And so we can really pick whichever income account that we already want to use. And a few options here for you guys. that are about your preferences. We know that some shops have $0 repair orders that come through as a record keeping mechanism, and some people want to see those $0 repair orders in their QuickBooks. As there's no money tied to them and they're not associated with accounting per se, that's off by default, and our recommendation is to leave that off. So we'll filter out any $0 repair orders. But if your company does run that way and that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and just select that checkbox, and then they will be included. The second part here is to use ShopBoss taxes, and this one is super important because what we do with this integration is we use ShopBoss taxes because those are the most precise and best resource for tax information on these repair orders and part sales. If you click and you say you don't want to use ShopBoss taxes, that's what that means is that you're using the QuickBooks calculated taxes. And QuickBooks taxes, in our experience, can be anywhere from 1 penny to 5 cents off from the true value in ShopBoss. So to make sure that we get those taxes perfect, we want to make sure that we use ShopBoss taxes. But if you've got advanced accounting going on and you've got an accountant who really knows what they're doing and wants you to use the QuickBooks taxes, that option is available to you as well. So we're going to leave both of these as the default settings and start the sync. Now at this point, what you'll see is a billing pop-up asking for any billing information. It didn't pop up here because we've got a developer account, but when you do see it, just go ahead and enter in that billing information for the $25 per month subscription. And just like that, you'll have your workflows running nice and easily in API Nation. I would love to show you a few examples of how this integration works and what you can expect to see. So in order to do that, I'm going to go into our ShopBoss account up here, and I'm going to test out the first of these integrations that we have. And the first of these integrations is the repair order and part sale sync. And I'll do this. I'll show this to you using a repair order. So what we've got here are a couple of repair orders in our ShopBoss account. So I see here's a $500 repair order. We've got some line items for brake fluid, for labor, and I want to go ahead and send this over to QuickBooks so that it automatically generates an invoice out of this repair order. Well, the way we do that is incredibly simple. We go up here and we just go ahead and close the RO. And this is the trigger for API Nation to do our work. So if we go back to API Nation and we click on the repair orders and part sales, we'll see that the workflow's already started running itself. It's processing now. It usually will take about 30 to 60 seconds to fully process. But what's really great about the API Nation log page, when you go in and see the details about these workflows, is you can click on the logs and get expanded information about what's going on as the sync is running. And you may have noticed that these syncs, they run instantly based on ShopBoss. Right, so we closed that repair order in ShopBoss. I came back to API Nation within a minute, and this was already processing. The data was already flowing through to QuickBooks. Now we've also got that schedule on the QuickBooks side. If you recall, when we went into the Web Connector and we set up that 60-minute auto run, this is also something that we're going to need to run in order to see these changes come through. So while it was instant on the API Nation and ShopBoss side, if we were just going about our day and we weren't managing this, it would be 60 minutes at most before we see all of this information coming through to QuickBooks. And perfect, so we've got our success right there. And although I was just saying, it would take 60 minutes to wait on this and to see it come through, we can always select the application with the checkbox and click Update Selected to have the sync run itself immediately. So now we can see that QuickBooks is catching up on all the data that was just sent its way. It's processing this new invoice coming through, and it looks like the Web Connector is done. So now we can go into our invoices here. And if we back up to see the most recently created invoice, we've got here this $500 RO, and that was RO 10067. So let's go ahead and check on that. And so you can see here that we've got this invoice here coming through from ShopBoss. And when we open up QuickBooks, got that same invoice for that brake fluid, for the labor, for our sales tax, all coming through here. And it looks like some of our developers were messing around with our settings. So it looks like our taxes are on here, but you'll see your taxes will be off. So if we change this status to non-taxable, then we'll see that that status comes through to 50125, just like we saw in that repair order, that 50125. And all your information is available in this invoice now for your bookkeeping and accounting team. Now, let's say we've got some payments that we want to make. We've got this invoice in here already. So let's go ahead and reopen this invoice. Oh, looks like I don't even have to reopen it. So now I just want to come onto this invoice and process a payment. Let's say we've got a payment here against this invoice for $25. I think I'll have to reopen this RO. So take this RO number. I'll reopen the RO. Now we've got it open again. Go ahead and add a new payment. There we go. And let's say we've got a payment coming through for $25. I'll save that. And this is something that we'll see come through in the payments integration. So we've got our workflow card here that says Sync ShopBoss Payments. I'll click on that. And it's already running, doing that same thing that we were talking about before. And the trigger here is really any payment at all. So if you make a payment from the RO page, if you make a payment from your, I believe it's the AR page, you'll be able to see really anywhere that payments are applied, that those payments are going to come through for the ROs that they apply to. And so if we're back in API Nation, we'll see how long this takes for a success. Again, usually just about a minute is all it takes for these things to run through. We've got a success there already. And so when I go back to QuickBooks now, once again, we'll look to run the Web Connector, or we could have waited these 60 minutes for the Web Connector to run itself and for these payments to have come through. And we see that was successful. So if I open up our received payments, and I go back in time a little bit, we'll see there's a brand new $25 payment for RO number 10067 coming through for our customer Martin right there. And that synced through just great. And so these are really the two main features that we've got in this integration right here. We've got those repair orders as well as those part sales working in the exact same way. As soon as those are closed, you'll see that information sync on over to QuickBooks. And with those payments, as soon as they are received, you'll see those come through for the RO and for the customer that they apply to. Great. Thanks for sticking with me here for this demo. I appreciate your time, and I really hope you enjoy your time with our sync. So thank you guys. And remember, if you ever need any help, please reach out to us at support@apination.com. We love doing this stuff. We're always here to help.